Okay, good morning, everyone. Thank you for attending our webinar, jointly organized by Reveres Academy and Cambodia Chamber of Commerce, curated by Up Your Game. Okay, today our topic will be how to grow your business using content creation. Okay, online. We'll be speaking about the power of niching down, how to generate leads without having to spend any money on ads, and also how to establish your credibility as an expert in your industry. Okay, we are happy to welcome Mr. Vivek to our webinar. Mr. Vivek is a Millennium Specialist and also keynote speaker at the Millennium Mind Private Limited, also author of book Empowering Millennium, and also he has spoken at organizations like Brunei Government, www.booking.com, General Hospital, Johnson & Johnson, Delta Air, and many more. He has been featured by the National Population and Talent Division under the Prime Minister Office to feature in a video of My Singapore Story. He has also appeared on Channel News Asia twice as a guest on the millennial topic and on local media such as Besantam TV and also Olay 96.8 FM radio. Mr. Vivek is known in his industry to speak around the globe in conferences and how to engage millennium work at their peak potential. He has recently just signed a three book deal with Penguin Random House and is interviewing senior leader on their experience in engaging millennium at the workplace. He also coached upcoming entrepreneurs, speakers, and coaches to create a proper business system that enhance their sales. So without further ado, let's welcome Mr. Vivek. Yeah, Mr. Vivek, all to you.
Thank you, Kenghua. Good welcome to everyone. I will start sharing my slides right now. So just give me a minute. Okay. Can I just check everyone can see my slides?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. So I'm not going to go into any introduction further than this. I think you already have an introduction. Today, my whole idea is to give you as much value as possible, right? And make sure you do have a pen, a paper with you so that you can take down notes. If you want to take screenshots, feel free to take screenshots as well. I do ask that any questions that you have, please put it to the end. At the last part, we will have a question and answer. So during that time, I'm happy to answer all your questions so that you get all the clarity that you need. Okay. All right. So let's begin. So today is about how you can grow your business using content creation. Now with COVID-19, we've seen the importance of being able to connect with people without actually meeting them. So what is one of the best ways to connect with people? It is through social media. It is through creating content. Now, the good thing is we can reach out to people through the internet, right? But at the same time, how do you build trust over the internet? The best way to build trust with one another is to actually give them really good content. And to give them really good content, you must first understand my problems, know what are the challenges I face, right? What are the frustrations I have, so that I, feel that you can help me, right? If you understand me, I will trust you. And if you use this technique properly, you will be able to get multiple clients coming to you and saying, hey, can you help me with my business? Or can you help me with my problem? All right. So that's what we're going to cover today. So the question here is this: is your content that you're creating right now, maybe you're creating content on Facebook, maybe you're creating content on LinkedIn. I know Facebook is pretty popular in Cambodia. So if you're putting out content, right, on social media, maybe you have a blog or a YouTube channel, is it actually generating, leads, inquiries for you? Are people asking you for help, right, with the business? That means they want to engage you as a business owner, right? If this is not happening, then your content is not working for you. That means you're putting out a lot of things. It's like you're doing a lot of things to help the car move, but you're not putting in the petrol for the car to move. Okay, so for the car to move at the end of the day, you need to do the right things. Okay, so first thing is your content should be able to bring you leads. What do we mean by leads? Leads means people who are interested in your content and they're interested in buying your products or your services. So it's very important for you to make sure that the content you have generates leads. Okay. Next thing is to also make sure that the content you have generates appointments for you, right? So maybe they are interested, but then after that, you lose touch, you didn't follow up. So your content should be able to again remind them and get them to set appointments with you, right? Once they set appointments, the next step is for them to then sit in a webinar like this and listen to presentations. What can you offer them? What can you do to help them with their problem? Do you really understand their problem? Right? So what is your irresistible offer? You need to share that through presentations, and then you will get sales, right? So this is the whole framework that I'm going to talk about, right? And making sure that the content that you create allows you to get sales, okay? So think of it like fishing. All of us, we know what fishing is like, right? For fishing, the lead is the fish, right? We want to catch the fish. The content is the worms that you put on the hook, right? And then you throw into the water, okay? So think of this as you are going into social media. Social media is a big ocean, right? There's a lot of places you can go to. You just need to know where to go to throw your hook, throw your fishing rod, so that you'll be able to bring in leads. Right? And then from there, you need to cultivate and nurture them, okay? So as you will see in the screen here, the leads is the fish, the content is the juicy worms that you provide for them, right? And then of course you must have a form, right? A form is basically like it's like a sign up form, right? If you want to sign for this webinar, you need to sign up, right? So you need to have a form so that people can show indication of interest, right? So they are indicating interest, they are giving you a signal, I'm interested in this topic. So you must have a form. If you don't have a form, people will not communicate with you, all right? And then you'll be able to bring them to the next stage. So what are the top 3 problems that I see a lot of business owners talk about when it comes to content creation? The first problem is I don't know what content to create. I don't know what to write. I don't know if whatever I write, people will like it or not. I don't know whether people will engage with it. What if nobody likes my content? What if nobody comments on it, right? What if, people don't appreciate it? That's number 1. Number 2 is I don't know how to keep on creating content consistently. They go through this thing called the content fatigue. That means they get tired. Oh, what do I think about? I don't know what to write. I don't know what to shoot. I'm running out of ideas. I don't know what to share, right? So that is number 2 problem. I don't know how to create content consistently. And number 3 is I don't know how to use my content and then tell them, hey, do you like to buy my product or service? I don't know how to go into that kind of a conversation. And that's a very different conversation, right? Because you don't want to be selling them in their face, like, hey, buy my thing, buy my thing. That's not that, right? So how do you use your content to convince them that you are the best person to help them for their business? Okay, so there are 4 steps that you have to look into. The first step is you need to research the top players in your industry. Now, the top players means, the leaders in your industry. It can be in Cambodia, can be international, because now today a lot of these things are global, right? What you need to do is you need to go and see how are these people, attracting their clients and their leads to their website, right? Everyone has a website these days. And the good thing about website is that on a website, you will see what are the freebies and the gifts that they're giving out to all these people, okay? So I'll share with you my example of how I did this research of the top players in my industry. So as most of you already know, I do a lot of career coaching. I do a lot of, topics about how can you improve in your career, how do you get promoted in your career, how do you deal with your manager, and how do you deal with people in your teams, right? So this is the kind of topic that I talk about, right? And I talk to the young generation, the millennial generation. So for them, a lot of the questions that are there on their mind is like, am I in the right career, right? How do I ace the interview? How do I really make sure that I excel at the workplace? How do you get noticed at the workplace? So these are the kind of questions I have, but I don't want to assume that that's exactly what it is. So I do research and I confirm that this is the way that they want to see it. So what do? I make a list of the top 10 leaders in my industry, okay, right? And then I take a note of the best free offer. What are they giving away for free, okay? Then I verify it with the most asked questions, and then I create a combination. So I know this is a lot. You may want to just take a screenshot of this, right? And then I'm going to go deeper into this step by step, okay? So first is to research the top players. Okay, what does that mean? That means you go to Google, right? You can do something simple as this, right? So I say millennial coach plus top blogs. So when you do this, you automatically will see a list of people who are very famous, or the top leaders will come up on Google, right? Because they've already been putting out a lot of content, and Google loves content. So if you put out a lot of content, Google will rank you on top, right? Unless you're paying ads, that's a different thing. But if you are organically, that means every single day or on every weekly basis, you are putting out content, Google will take your page and they'll put it on the first page. Whenever we do Google search, do we go all the way till page 10? Sometimes we don't even go to page 2, right? Because we look through the top few and we assume that this must be the best because Google thinks they are the best, right? So I look at that and I look at the top 10 people. So I research and I take notes. Who are the top 10 people that Google is showing as a leader in my industry, right? It doesn't have to be local. It can be also global as well. So what did I find out? Okay, hold on. So step 3, I found out there are a few people, okay, that actually have this. So what do? I go to their website and I look for a form. The form is what we call the hook, right? The hook that will pull the fish out of the water. So this is a form where you will see, you can write your name, you can write your email address, and then you see what are they offering in return, right? If you give your name and email address, what are the gifts that you get? What is the topic that is the most interesting that they are sharing their free resources for, right? So you will find out that in my case, right, what is your best career path? This is what one of these ladies has mentioned. What is your best career path? Okay. The second one, another website, right? The Confused Millennial. She has shared, discover my ultimate goal setting guide. Okay, so it's more about how do I set goals so that I become a successful adult, right? How do I set goals so that I become successful in my career, my relationships, all of those things, right? So the second one may be this, right? Another person, she shares, I think, 20 powerful questions for self-discovery. That means, how do I understand my values? How do I understand my strengths? What am I good at? What am I weak at? Right? What are some questions I can use to answer? So you have to understand, if the top people are showing these as the hot topics, you need to also combine whatever they're offering into yours, right? So here it is a quiz, and then after that she actually shares with you a video, right? A video course, right? Here is a guide, so it's like a PDF document, okay? And here is like 20 questions, so it's probably also another PDF document. So you also have to take note of the format. How are they presenting the information? Are they presenting it in video format, or is it something that you can watch? Is it something that you can listen to? Is it something that you can read, right? Or is it something that you can do, right? Hands-on, right? So from what I see here, right, the one that really sells, right, the one that the top people are putting out is video, and it is PDF, right? It is a document, and the topic is about goal setting, it's about career direction, it's about how to excel at the workplace, okay? So those are the hot topics. So what do we do? What do? We create a worksheet, right? And we list out like this, right? Who is the top players in our industry? So I've just done 3 here so that you can see clearly. But what I want you to do is create a worksheet like this, right? And list out the top players, number 1, number 2, number 3, write down their website, number 1, number 2, number 3. And what is the offer that they're having? What topic are they actually giving content about, right? Their video is about what, right? Their PDF, what is it about, right? So I've listed out, right? So what is your best career path? So career is important to them. Goal setting is important to them. Self-discovery, self-awareness is important to them. So what can I do to make sure that I am better than the top 3 people, right? I combine everything together, right? So I will create maybe a video, I'll create a PDF, right? I'll say how to ace your interview. I'll create a video on that, how to identify your strengths and what are the powerful questions for self-discovery, right? And how do you set goals effectively? I'll combine all of this into a video and I'll add worksheets, I'll add templates, I'll add the checklist, and I give them more. I give them a lot more value so that when people come to my website, they automatically get excited and they give me their name and their email address. Okay. So it's like this. All these people that you see just now, they are just giving you one topic, right? They're giving you one chocolate bar, right? What I am giving you is a hamper. I give you a hamper of all the different things that you would like, right? So if you can choose, if you have to give a name and email address, you don't need to pay any money. Would you give it for one chocolate bar or would you give it for one hamper, right? Obviously, you will give it for the hamper, right? Because you get more value for the same name and email address that you are giving out to other people, okay? So this is the first thing that you need to do, right? Identify and research all these people, okay? See what topic they're talking about, identify what format that they are giving that content, and then create a bundle. So this is what I call a bundle. You bundle all these good things together and give it as if it's like a hamper. It's like a gift for them. And this is your way of building trust with them, building visibility with them, okay? Now, this is a form on the first page of your website, all right? So you have to offer it on your website as the first page so that when immediately when people land on your website, they'll be excited because, wow, this person is giving me so much of value and this is what I really want to see. The mistake a lot of people do is, number one, they don't have a form. That means you don't have a hook. If you don't have a hook, how are you going to catch the fish? You have a lot of worms, but you're throwing the worms into the water, you're not able to hook the fish back, right? So you need to be able to have a hook. So you need to have a form on the first page, on the top part of the website. When people land on your website, you need to have a form, okay? That's important. Number two, instead of having one worm, what if you put a lot of worms together and you dangle it, right? Then all the fishes will come and try and eat it and you'll be able to catch not just one fish, but a lot of fish together, okay? So that's the first part, research the top players in the industry. So the second part, right, is build your funnel. So this is where you need to have a landing page, okay? A landing page is basically where people will click your website, they'll come to your page. That is basically a landing page. But to be a little bit more technical, a landing page will not have buttons, it will not have advertisements, it will not have other things. It'll make you focus so that you do one thing. And the only thing that the landing page is focused to help you do is to make sure that you enter your name and email address, okay? Now, sometimes the landing page is long, sometimes the landing page is short, right? And that depends on how good is your offer. So are you giving one chocolate bar or are you giving a hamper? If you're giving a bundle hamper, then you don't need to write a long page. It's a simple, this is what I'm going to give you. Do you want to take it or not, right? It's easy. And most of the time, people who land there, if they are your correct audience, if they're the right people, they will definitely love to get your free offer, okay? So this is a landing page. Now, some of you may not have a website and maybe you're just starting out, right? So it's not necessary that you must always have a landing page that is paid for, right? You can also have free types of landing page. So this is actually your Facebook cover, right? You can create, go to canva.com, right? canva.com, and you can create something like this, right? And put it on your Facebook cover page, right? So it'll say, hey, coaches, if you want to attract leads and clients, get started. So you click the cover page, and then what do you see? You will see a link, right? There will be a link. When you click that link, it'll bring you to a form. It could be a form like Google form. In that form, You'll say that if you want to get this video course, or if you want to get this blueprint, you want to get this PDF document, this template, then please fill in this form and fill in this questionnaire, and I will email you the basic documents, right? So that is, it can be free. So your Facebook page is free, your LinkedIn page is free, right? Your Twitter is free. So all you have to do is make sure that you have a Google form, right? And a very well designed cover page. Okay, so that will allow you to basically get this settled, right? You don't have to fork out a lot of money and pay on a subscription basis, right? So that is something you can do. Okay, so this is again on LinkedIn, right? So you will see how people have put their offer. This is all their offer, right? So this guy is offering here, he's offering how to get leads through social media. So that's his offer, right? This guy is saying, I have a system, right? The exact process to get new clients, right? So message me. So he gives you a call to action. He tells you what to do. So automatically when you message him or when you ask for those details, or they will ask for your name and email address, and then they will send you the documents. Okay. Of course, if you don't want to do free, there's always a lot of paid landing pages as well. So these are all the different kind of landing pages, and usually they cost between US $10 to about US $97 per month, right? So per month you will pay. Of course, you can have not just one, you can have multiple, but I think that is a mistake. Don't create multiple landing pages. You only need one good landing page and one good offer, one big hamper, right? If you have this and it appeals to your target audience, you shouldn't have any problems in getting a lot of leads, okay? Now, the more compelling your lead magnet is, the less compelling your copy. When I say copy, I mean the way you write. It doesn't have to be very powerful, very persuasive, very compelling. You don't need to worry. Simple English. Simple English is good if your offer is great, okay? Simple English is good if your offer is great. You don't need to be very psychological. You don't think about this and think about that. Don't make it complicated, right? Just give them what they want and give them as a bundle, and make sure the English is simple, right? If your offer is small, you're just giving them a pen, then maybe you need to write a long paper. You need to write complicated. You need to use psychological marketing principles and all of that, right? But otherwise, don't need to go into so much of copy. Simple is the best, okay? So that is step number 2. You build your funnel. If you don't have a funnel, that means if you don't have your Facebook page, if you don't have the call to action, or if you don't have the Google form, right, which is also free, then you will not be able to capture the name and email address, okay? So once you've captured this, you need to get to know them, right? So it's a bit like dating, right? You meet someone, you exchange phone numbers, and then you have to keep texting one another, right? You need to say, hi, how are you doing? What are your plans for today? What do you do for fun? You got to get to understand them a little better. So you create content, okay? So how do you create content? The best way to create content is to go to this website called Quora.com, okay? Quora.com. Quora.com is a place where people ask questions about different topics. So what you need to do is to go to that place and type in the topic that is relevant to your industry. So this is a simple step process. Go to Quora.com, find the top questions that people are asking, and organize your content based on that. Okay, so let me just stop the share of my slides here and show you how to do this on Google. Okay, so give me 1 minute. So you will see here, I'm already on Quora, and you will see a lot of these questions. I typed the keyword career, right? So you see 2,300 people are actually following this question, right? So those questions with a high number of followers, this one, 1,200, what are the biggest career mistakes to avoid, okay? What has been your best career decision? 1,400 people are following. How do you decide what career is best for you? So based on these questions, you can also create a lot of content over and over and over again, because people will keep asking questions. All you need to do is to find those questions and answer them. You can answer them on social media. So the more content you create on social media, the more people will check your profile. When they check your profile, they will say, hey, do you want my free offer? Click this link. So when they click this link, or when they message you, they will get your bundle offer, right? The one that will help you to capture the lead. So just go to Quora.com, right, and see what are the top questions. So this is 1,700 people. What is the single greatest piece of career advice and why? Okay, so these are the kind of questions that people who are starting out, from university, these are the kind of questions that they're asking. So you want to answer these questions, give your share your story with them, right? Share what was the best advice, share a lot of tips, tricks, techniques, right? All of those things, share it with them, okay? Oh, another one, what is your biggest career mistake? So all these questions are very powerful in helping you to create content that is very relevant for your target audience, okay? So that's what I wanted to share with you. Go to Quora.com. It's this one website alone is enough for you to create a lot of content, because you can find the topics, right? Now, if you can't find it in Quora, right, there's also another place that you can go to, okay? And that place is, that place is what we call Reddit, right? Reddit is basically another place that has a lot of people talking about topics that are very interested in. Okay, so this is an example of Quora, right? Reddit. This is another place. Sign up, right, and just listen to what are the questions. Go and observe what are the top questions that people are asking, in these groups. Talking about groups, another good place to go to is Facebook groups, right? So Facebook has focused a lot on groups now. So you should also go to Facebook groups and see what are the top questions in your industry. So if you're in the wedding industry, then see, are there any wedding groups, right? Not just in Cambodia, all over the world. What are the different wedding groups? What are the questions people are asking, right? What are the questions the brides are asking? What are the questions that the grooms are asking, right? What are the questions that the people need answers to, right? Take note of all these questions, because that will be the kind of content that you want to create on social media, okay? Right, so you've already created your content. You have captured the leads, right? You have built your funnel, you've created the content, and you're continuously creating content, right? So every time you create content, they come back, they see your landing page, right? They see your offer, and you get more and more leads, okay? And then the last part, once you've captured the email address and the name, and you've started sending them emails, let's say you send them about 5 to 7 emails already, right? Then you can invite them, because you've given them so much of value. You invite them to join your webinar, or invite them to come on a call with you if they're interested in either a free coaching session, because now you've built a trust with them. They also will be happy to speak with you. They'll become a fan. They'll like you. They know you. They trust you. So they will sign up for either a sales call, right? A call to just like to help them understand, what are the mistakes that they're making, how can they move forward. And you can also share what are your offers, what are your services, how much is your product, what's your service, right? You can do this without a call. If it's like a product, like you're selling a phone, or you're selling a pen, right? Something like this, of course, you don't need to have a call. But if you're selling something that's high ticket, that means over $1,500, then you might want to have a webinar, or you might want to have a sales call, so that the people will get to interact with you. They get to meet you in person before they purchase anything from you, right? So you can see all these are the different types of invites, right? So you can use Zoom, you can use this event, Bright.com or ptix.com to create an event, and then invite them to join you for the event, and just have a conversation about what is your offer, what's the latest new product that you have, or what's the latest new service that you have that will allow you to sell to them and make more sales. Okay. So just to share with you how I do this in my website, right? This is movetheneedle.sg, right? I did the same thing as well, right? I created a free video course. I give them scripts. I give them templates. I give them checklists. Now, the thing here is I don't have this completely ready yet. I am still building it up, right? But what I say is, if you sign up now, right, you will be able to get the updates when I release it for free, because after a few number, I will not give it away for free. So you can put in your name, put in your email address, and you will learn how to do all of this, right? So if you are interested, you can always come and give your details. And in the future, when it is ready, I will release these valuable goodies to you, right? So these are the kind of things that you want to incentivize them with. This is a bundle. So you have video calls, you have scripts, you have templates, you have checklists, and the topic is something that they really like, which is how to create a 5-figure side income and work lesser hours, right? That's the key thing that a lot of business owners want, right? So that's what you want to do. Okay. So now I am going to open the floor for questions and answers.
If you have any questions and answer, you can let us know. Yeah, or you can type it in the chat itself.
Okay. I hope I wasn't too fast.
It's okay. I think it's very informative. I think it's quite good. We actually learn how, at least there's a Quora that we understand. Of course, I guess if we actually put in the content itself, you check out, that means the writing of the content will have to be on your own, or you just,
yes,
you actually take
you want to focus on,
you actually
so you want to focus on your own. Yeah, sorry, maybe you want to finish your question. Sorry.
No, yeah, that is to say, the topic itself, that means it's like actually you are getting the topics that people are interested in this sense.
Yes.
Rather than the content creation wise, you still have to do it yourself to actually write a.
Yes.
Okay.
So you must know the answer to the questions. If not, you need to go and find out the answers and be able to share your perspective of the answer, right? Okay. So the whole idea is, don't share what you think is cool or what you think is the in thing. Share what they need, right? So you go to places like Quora, you go to research top players. What are the top people doing, right? If the top people are talking about this topic, then you want to do a combination of all the topics that they are touching on, so that they feel very incentivized to part with their name and email address. Okay. So we have a few questions coming up now.
Yeah.
Yes. So Chandra Wood Sim. Sorry if I pronounce your name wrongly, but can we purely rely on Facebook for that? Right? At the stage, it depends on the stage that you're at, right? If you are starting out and you don't want to spend a lot of money, then you can purely rely on Facebook. It is possible, and that's how I started as well, right? You just put out content after content after content, and then you generate inquiries by giving them the offer, right? So people must see what you have to offer, and to get the offer, they must give you their name and email address. You must collect the database. If you don't have a database, you will not be able to reach out to these people after that. So you need to build a following. You need to become like an influencer. You need to build that following. So you need to create that content. Do you need Facebook? You can do Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. The platform doesn't matter. But what's important is you must have some kind of infrastructure in place, right? If you don't have the infrastructure in place to capture the name and email address, then you'll be just giving out content, but you won't see any inquiries. You won't see any people interested in you, to learn more about what you have to offer. Okay. Moving on to the second question. What's the most popular content in the world now? Okay. So if I were to answer that question, that would be the biggest mistake I can make, right? Because the most important or the most popular content is not based on what I think, it's based on what your customers or what your target audience is thinking. right? So you need to identify, you need to get like a PhD in their problems, in the challenges that they're having. And you need to create content to give them tips, give them solutions, give them quick wins so that they can overcome those kind of issues, right? So that's the most important thing. So how do you know what's the most popular one? Go and look at the top people, see what are they offering. They are probably talking about those things that are very important or very interesting for your same target audience. Okay, I hope that answers that question. The problem I believe myself and others are facing is that our content does not reach many people, or not many people see it, right? Is there a solution for this? So yes, what you can do, right, is when you go to places like Quora, right, don't answer every single question. Look at those questions which have a high following. So let me just share with you again, right? So here you see this number here, right? This is 2,300 people are following. So if you put a very good answer, 2,300 people will get notified about what you have put out, okay? So you want to go to groups. Don't put it out just on social media feed alone, right? You also want to go into the groups and answer those questions in the groups. So there's this strategy called the $1.80 strategy. That means go and put all those questions that people have in the groups. Make sure you answer with your own take, right? So if someone is asking about social media and you are a social media expert, make sure that you are in all these Facebook groups or you're all these Reddit channels, or if you're in Quora, you make sure you're answering all those questions which people are asking, and that will get you a lot of visibility, right? Of course, if you want to boost it, you can, but you have to rely on ads, right? The only way to have a lot of visibility is to make sure on a daily basis you are answering questions in these groups, answering the problems that people are having. Okay, if you don't do that, then you will not see a lot of traction, right? So that's important. Okay. The schedule for posting content in Facebook. Okay, so there are a lot of timings that you can look into. In fact, to be honest, you want to look into timings where people are traveling, because when do people actually check Facebook? They check Facebook when they're traveling to work, or when they are going back home, right? Or when they are at home and they finish their meals and they are just going to get ready to sleep. So these are the key timings. So it differs from country to country. I can tell you 2 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and 5 o'clock, but that may not be real for you in your country. It may be real for me in my country. So just go based on human behavior. When do people go to work? Usually, right? When they're traveling, they usually check Facebook, right? When they are resting, when they're having a break, during lunchtime, right? These are the usual times when people will check Facebook. So do your own research based on your country and post according to that.
Okay, I think there's one more question is that from Mr. Meng Pat, is that he's running a own business in hotel industry in Cambodia. So what website is best for him to research and get to create best content?
So he's running a what website?
Running a business in hotel industry in Cambodia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he wants to know which website is best for him to research or get to create best content.
So you want to go and look at the top blogs that review hotels, okay? Because the top bloggers, hotels normally they don't talk about content. They don't create a lot of content creation. But if you want to use content creation, go and look at the top bloggers, right, who review hotels. What kind of information are they reviewing? So find the top bloggers in the hotel industry. They review hotels, they review the services and things like that. What are the hot things that they are talking about? They talk about, oh, how cool is the bathroom? How cool is the view? What are the topics? So you create those content. So you need to go and find those bloggers, and you also might want to go to YouTube and see these bloggers, top hotel bloggers, VLOG, bloggers who review these hotels, because they are the ones who will tell the people like me and you what's cool about this hotel industry, or what's cool about this place, what's What's different about this place? So those are the hot topics that you can then take, and then you can create your own content as well, right? So that's something that you might want to do. Look at the top bloggers and top bloggers in the hotel industry.
Okay. Hope you answer the question. One more question is that as you go through the trust building process, how can you distinguish prospect, interested client from people who just keep contacting you on social media, consider
Yes.
you friend and have no intention to buy your product after all? So the question is, do you drive the conversation away from social media, and do you approach them via other channel?
Right. So basically, it is like this. So there are some people who do not fit into your ideal clientele, right? And you will probably know if this person is someone who's interested, but they don't have the capacity. So the key thing is to ask the right kind of questions to qualify them, right? So before you actually get them onto a call, right, where they come onto a webinar, you might want to ask them a few questions that will qualify them. Okay, so one of the few questions is this: that is this a problem on a scale of 1 to 10? How big is this problem? So they will say probably maybe they say 7 out of 10, right? Okay, to solve a problem like this, right? How much are you willing to invest? Right? Some of them will say 0, some of them will say minimum number, some of them will actually say this is the rough range I'm looking at. So based on those qualifying questions, you'll be able to identify whether this person is really interested or they're just trying to find more and more free stuff from you, right? So it's very important that when they meet you in person or when they are having an appointment with you, they have been qualified. They go through these questions and you've qualified them. And if they have not given the right answer, they say that you just simply reject the appointment. That means you don't take the appointment, don't waste your time, because they also didn't invest their time in giving you a good and real and honest answer. So you set your standards high, right? You want to work with me, you need to answer these questions, you need to be real, you need to build trust, you need to be authentic, right? And you cannot be just wasting people's time, because I am not wasting anyone's time. So you need to have that confidence, ask them those questions, and automatically people will feel like, oh, wow, I better answer these questions. If not, I cannot work with this person, right? So, and you can also have a rule, right? Strike 3, right? If they do this 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 3rd time, you say, strike, I'm never going to work with you. And you tell them on the spot, look, you've been asking me these things all the time, but whenever I ask you to come on the appointment, you don't appear, you come late, or you're not, you said you have to think about it, right? I would love to continue answering your calls, but 3 times I have a simple policy. It's a 3-strike rule. If you've been doing this for more than 3 times, I'm sorry, I cannot entertain any more of your requests. So you do that. Set those boundaries for yourself so that you can focus on people who really need your help, who really need your time, who really need your expertise. Okay?
Okay. One more question is, does the content for Facebook LinkedIn organic? And also, is there a place for ads, and when and how to use ads?
Okay, so this is how it works, right? There is definitely a place for organic content, but organic content is slow. So slow in the sense that, you need to put in a lot of effort. If you are not putting in money, you need to put in a lot of effort. So every day you need to put aside maybe 2 to 3 hours just creating content, answering questions, creating more content and repurposing the content. You need to put aside time for that. But if you don't have that much of time, you just want to create one content, then you can, if you put ads and run ads to the same content over and over again, let's say you create a bundle offer, right? And then you run ads to it. So people see the ad, they click, they go, they see that you have a huge, nice hamper waiting for them. They will give their name and email address. You will also collect leads. Of course, when you start out with ads, it is like a S curve, right? So it will go down first. You will make a loss, right? And then you will make a win, right? So you need to be willing to have a good enough budget, right? If you have that budget, please go ahead. Start with content and ads on a parallel track. right? If you have it on a parallel track, you'll be able to see a lot of leads. You'll be able to see a lot of conversions happen really fast. But if you are not able to use ads, then go through the content. Content will still work, but it's a long-term strategy. Ads will still work. It's a short-term strategy. The problem with ads alone, if you stop the ads, immediately no more leads. The moment you stop your ad campaign, immediately you will not see a lot of leads coming in, because you need to have both concurrent. That's the best strategy, is to have both running concurrently. How to use ads, when to use ads. When to use ads is when you want fast results. How to use ads is a very big topic, right? And for that, you can go to a lot of these YouTube and different places to go and check out. I'm not the best expert for Facebook ads or all that, but there are definitely experts who can teach you or help you to do those ads and then run those ads to help you get clients.
Okay, good. Yep. You have any more questions that we?
Yes, please ask all your questions now so
Yeah.
that I can answer them. Any more questions regarding content, regarding how to do something or the other? Okay, if not, then this is who I am. This is where you can find me. You can connect with me. If you have any other questions after that, I can always you can always reach out to me here as well.
Yep. Okay. Thank you, Vivek, for your time, and yep. Hope all of you have a good knowledge of content creation by Vivek. So
yes.
Yeah.
Hey, can I ask one question for the rest of y'all who are here? How was this content for you? Was it valuable? Was it interesting? Did you benefit from it? I would love to learn. What are your comments on this as well, so that moving forward we can make this better and better for the rest of us who are going through another session as well. Please do share in the chat. How did you how did you find this entire session?
Yep. Please let us know your views on it. Okay. Just for your information, okay, we would have a break next week because of a holiday in Cambodia. So our next webinar will be on 6th of November, same time. And our topic will be attract customers with story. So we will send up the invite as soon as we have it. So hope you will attend and have a good insight of another speakers on attracting customers.
All right. So now is the best time to put out content, because COVID-19, everyone is either at home, either in lockdown, or definitely they are spending more time in front of the screen. So you need to create content, make sure you create your infrastructure and create your offer. And definitely you will actually do better than most businesses if you use this strategy to reach out to people without even meeting them face to face. Okay. Great. Thank you for all your comments. Yeah.
Yeah, you can follow us on our YouTube channel, and this webinar will be up on our YouTube channel, and all previous and upcoming webinar will also be there. So you can follow us on our YouTube channel. Yep.
Great. Great. Good to see we have quite a bit of participants as well, right? 26 participants.
Actually, there's 30.
Thanks for staying.
There's 30 over actually. Till the end.
Nice.
Yeah. There's about 30, 35. Yeah. But I think some of them we have to go off in a way. It's a Friday.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So if you have any, you can go to our YouTube channel for the webinar, and you can also see past. Okay. Thank you very much, and hope to see you the week after next, after your holiday. Enjoy your holiday for next week. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
And if you have any question, you can continue to ask us. Yep. Thank you.
Okay, sure. I'll be here. Yeah.